Good.
Yeah, perfect. We are live today as well. Good
Exactly.
afternoon, good morning, good evening, depends on which part of the world you are following us from. Is again me, Francesca Fulanetto, and Aniel Cruiser, my lovely colleagues and friends from life. And today we thought about sharing with you like our experience of why is important personal development and consciousness in our life, related not only to business but in the generic context, like why is important for our own person. So I check in my experience, and the other day, like a light bulb switch on, listening to one of my personal development like videos that I check time to time, and looking at myself in my business experience, life experience. I was like, this is really important, and it's not down because I studied at school or because of particular skills that I have compared to someone else, but it's because I put myself into the game, and I decided to come out from my comfort zone. So whenever like it comes to something that I feel like a trap or put in a corner and stuck, that's when I decide to basically do personal development and where to focus my personal development. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna touch base with. I'll leave you a moment the word, Daniel, so that we can start later on.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I hope you are fine. Good morning, good afternoon, where you are, depending on where you are hearing us today. So we're coming again with a new topic about personal development and consciousness, because we know that in order to achieve something, you need to know yourself very well. So that's why we find it important to just talk about our experience, about how we move on with personal development, how we see things now compared to before, and how does personal development is so important to whether it's in business, in life, or to see things differently, to just live the life we want to live today. So my lovely colleague Francesca will start, and then I
Yeah.
will follow up. Uh, the
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
Amazing. It's always a pleasure to be with you, Aniel, and sharing this experience. So today, as I said, we're going to talk about the importance of personal development and why we decided to do so. Because if you check all the other 7 episodes of our lives and topics that we touch base with, we always brought the subject of mindset, of reading books, skills, knowledge, and all these different affirmation. As you can see at the back of my head, there are like so many posts
Yeah, I can see
about,
them.
and this is like you can see like, and that's why I let like my background as normal, because I came up is really important, like we can decide, like we can attempt any strategy, and this is what came up to me today. I was literally talking to one of my friends, like related to in general, about life, what is happening like nowadays in the world with all this COVID situation and everything, and she just said something that I realized only because I put myself in these past 3 years in personal development, and I could realize the block she had, because of the conditioning of life and the limits. And many people think that fate decide about our life, that situations that we are in are because we don't have the skills, or we don't have the strategy, or we don't have the right qualification, but it's actually down to personal development. So it means like knowledge, it means mindset at the base of everything. I could realize that in my life experience that I had so much conditioning, so much personal skills inside myself, that as long as I didn't make myself aware and conscious of this limitation that my mind was creating in myself, that was like basically the setting I was going through and how I was setting up my life as well. And only when I realized that I needed myself to start and change something to my life and starting to reset my brain and my mindset and all the schemes that the life and my life experience set it up in myself, nothing would ever change. Despite the
Yeah,
job I
exactly.
was going to have, despite the place where I was going to live, despite the people I had around, you know,
Mhm.
everything needed to start from myself. And
So
that's
what
when,
kind of, just to one question
yeah,
was coming, what kind of limitation, concretely that you had before, so that people over there can, have
yeah,
concrete
okay,
example
that's
about
a
the
good question.
limitation. Yeah,
You're
I
right.
think it will be very important as well.
Yeah, you're right. So, for example, like my biggest limitation was like basically see myself as a leader, see myself as a
Mhm,
example for people, see myself as a person taking like initiative. And I was
mhm,
always like good and precise and a hard worker, but I never been able to put myself in a step forward where I could take more responsibilities. I could take more responsibilities, but I never had anyone to see the change in myself, because I realized, first of all, I
mhm,
was the one saying to myself, why other people should follow me?
mhm,
Why other people should think I'm right in this? And that's
mhm,
what I realized after a long time, that it was keep coming in my brain. And I was
mhm,
like related to anything, like my biggest dream is still now, where I'm also developing, is becoming a coach, emotional coach. I took a qualification, so I'm really
mhm.
good at helping people with emotions, spotting it. But I
Okay.
never see myself in that position where I could actually open my center, and start like actually telling people, you can trust me, come over and I can support you with this if you're open to work on yourself.
Mhm,
And I realized that, why? Because it came down to my mindset, my self-confidence. And
okay.
that was my biggest obstacle that I've been going through since 3 years, and only now. And that's why it came out. You did a good question. It came out this subject as well with you, because I realized that as long as we don't work on that, our conditioning keeps going ahead. How about yourself? Like, I said a bit about my experience, why, in my opinion, is really important, like personal development, and what was my biggest limitation and still now.
Mhm.
But how about you, Anya?
Yeah, so about me, it was quite similar, because I never saw myself, being a leader. Being a leader is sometimes you say it's for others. How this person is doing great, so but I cannot really do. I don't know how does it manage to know to do that. Ever is in maybe life, or being an entrepreneur. So I want to be an entrepreneur, but I sometimes at some point I was saying that for me it's not for me, or you will not succeed. You don't have the right skill. Why do people gonna follow you? Why do people gonna listen to you? So what is different? What do you have? Different for other people, that if you can you start. Sometimes when you want to help other people, you have that's why I was realizing now you have first of all to trust in yourself, so that whether you come as you're doing this live, so because we work a little bit on ourselves, and we know that coming from one point A from now to point B, we have done a lot of work about ourselves, and we know exactly what means to doing personal development, to work on ourselves, our brains, our limitations. So one of our limitations that I um coming around is like, yeah, because I'm in France, so let's talk about real stuff. I'm in France, I'm black. At some point you can realize that if you are black, or if you are a woman, or if you are, yeah, so all of us coming from Africa, you cannot really do anything else. Just stay at your work. So I'm doing good, and just like you cannot bring something else over there. So that's why I was thinking to myself, so I'm gonna stay there. I want to help people, but how can I do that? Do I have the skills? Do I? Yeah. But now, start working on myself, start, coming over the limitation of the society, of the, so whatever limitation it can be. I just say to myself, you can do that if you want to do so. That's why for me now is
Amazing.
really, really important to be around the right people, learn from the right people, learn, read the right books. Yeah, all those stuff that now I kind of realize that it's the first our first limitation comes from us. You know,
Yeah.
we are our first limitation because our thoughts sometimes we see ourselves in a certain level that we say, oh, no, we cannot move forward because the society tells us we cannot do that, you cannot do that. But it's possible to do what we want. It's just kind of knowing that our thoughts help us to picture. We have to picture what we want to do, and also start taking action, as we were saying before in our last episode, taking action mindset. And yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, and it's
Okay.
really powerful what you say. And I'm glad that we work on ourselves, like in terms that we are also like not scared to
Mm,
share like what is usually the society limit ourselves to share, because most of the time the society make us thinking that whatever comes to limitation that our mind, or even like it can be a sentence that we were told
mm,
when we were kids, it set
exactly.
up and enables something inside ourselves, a scheme that nowadays it might create the biggest obstacle of our life, putting ourselves in a loop of life
Mm,
that we ended up constantly in the same situations.
mm,
And actually, like if I remember myself when talking about what you said as well, that it matches my experience, is that I was so scared to share
mm,
my what we call weaknesses. That is not even the word I would use any longer, but what we can improve, like, and reset, I would say reset into ourselves. And then it comes to like when we are confident enough to understand that there is no right or wrong, but there is only like the biggest journey of
mm-hmm.
our life, where it's down to us to make it better, and down to us to understand that we are actually perfect as we are, but nobody teaches us how to do it. Anya, are you still there? Hello?
Do you hear me, Francesca?
Hello?
Francesca, do you hear me?
Yes. Now, yes. Sorry. I had like did you hear me, like, or it
We
got
have some
stuck? I don't
network
know.
issue.
Yeah, not sure
We
if
are
it's
going
mine or
to
yours.
stop live and then come back again because we have so many topics that we want to talk about, and we have some network issue.
Anya is coming live in a second, guys.